Dummies inside, reaches out and scores the try. The feet down, he's put the ball to Townsend and he scores.
Bit of a dream come true, to be honest. I grew up in the Shire, grew up as a Cronulla junior. I loved the Sharks growing up. I used to love watching Matt Rogers, and pretty much I could tell you the whole names of the teams of the players who used to play. My parents used to take me down to the family hill. I used to wave my flag on the hill with some of my mates. I wanted to play for the Sharks, and then went through the grades, progressed. Wasn't until about 15 where I was really like, hey, I'm going to give this a dead set go, and made a few sacrifices and worked hard and trained hard, and then in 2011 I made my NRL debut. I remember Shane Flanagan telling me that I was going to play on the Wednesday night, and we were playing the Friday night against the Broncos at home against Darren Lockyer, and I couldn't sleep for 2 nights, dead set. It was the toughest 2 nights of my life. I was laying in bed staring at the ceiling, rolling, tossing, turning, and I kind of had to keep it on the down low because it was a bit of a late change, a withdrawal from, I can't remember who was going to start, but I was sort of the last minute change, so I couldn't really tell many people. I had to tell my mum and dad, and that was about it.
There's their rookie halfback, Chad Townsend, on debut tonight. A Yarrawarra Tigers junior, captain of their Toyota Cup side, and he is the halfback. And what a responsibility for him tonight, but what a thrill at the same token.
Played against Lockie and we lost, unfortunately. I actually played okay. I was pretty happy with how I played, obviously being a youngster, starry-eyed, and I remember shaking Lockie's hand after the game, and I was just froze, didn't know what to say, didn't say a word, just like shook his hand, and I was just like, he's so close to me. So a moment I'll never forget, and obviously I guess realising a dream of that's kind of what I wanted to do as a kid, and achieving that. I don't think I appreciated it until I got a little bit older in my career, so definitely a good moment for me.
Townsend's kick's good. Townsend's kick ends up superb, and Bakuya has scored.
Was there a moment at all when you were playing at Cronulla during your time there that you looked up and saw a kid on the hill and just went, wow, that was me and this is where I am now?
To be honest, it happened to me a lot, and again, it wasn't until I'd probably got a few years into my career where I'd actually see kids on the hill, and they'd have their flags and they'd have their jerseys on, and I just used to honestly think like that was me, that was me. And again, it's like a surreal moment because you kind of, I know what they were feeling and the feelings they thought about footy. Obviously as a kid, you just love footy and you love hanging out with people and being around the game. So there was a couple of other local juniors and I who we used to just talk and say, that's us on the hill. So a bit of fun, but also, again, just a really cool moment to sort of take in.
And to all you people back in the Shire, turn your porch lights off because they're coming home with a trophy.
Talk to me about that grand final win. It was a monumental moment.
Yeah, I think the whole year was, very surreal. I look back across, I guess, my career and in the NRL, it's unbelievable. It's the toughest competition in the world. And that season, I don't want to sound a bit arrogant, but it felt easy, to be fair. And look back on it with the momentum that we had, the team that we had, the cohesion. We won 15 games straight. It was just high after high after high. We just hadn't felt that feeling of losing. And winning became a habit. We were winning by 1 point, 2 points, 4 points, 6 points, very tight games, but we would just always win.
He skipped away from Kenny Dow, and the Sharks run to victory number 14 in a row.
We had that confidence of winning all through the season, and it got to that point where after we won the 15 games straight, that if we didn't win the competition, it would have been a dead set waste of a season. So, again, I guess going back to what I spoke about off the bat with regards to growing up in the Shire and following the Sharks, and then being a part of that first ever team to win the Premiership as a local junior, as that kid on the hill. Again, it's a really amazing moment for myself and my family, and my kids have no idea at the moment, but I know one day they'll ask me about it, and they probably won't want to hear me blabble on about it, to be fair, but I'll tell them if they want to know.
Cronulla Premiers in 2016.
I haven't watched it back, to be honest, and I won't. Something I just won't do. Like, and I'm someone who loves footy. I watch every game every week, but I just won't watch the grand final. Like, I just won't do it. I don't want to do it. Like, it's just there. I've got it. I've got the memories in my head, but a lot of it is a blur. But it is, the one thing I have watched is the last minute. So it's 14-12. We've got the ball. I kicked it, dribbled it over the sideline, and
It's gone to Townsend, he gets it going, and he winds that clock down.
Melbourne had a scrum, and it was like, we literally have 1 minute to defend to win the grand final. So we played this game all year at training where it was like, you know, the defence would always be down by a couple of defenders, so we really had to hustle and work hard. And we defended this set, and anyway, Melbourne made a lot of metres down our end, and we were down on kind of our 20, and they shifted it out to the left, and then they shifted it back out to the right. And I remember watching that moment where it was like our whole right edge, Valentine, Jack Bird, myself and Luke Lewis were over on the left side of the field, and then we just sort of all, we just slid dead set sprinting side to side to just hustle and stop the try. And it was that type of urgency and care that, you know, helped us win that game and helped us have the successful season that we did. So yeah, won't watch it, won't watch the game back now.
The siren sounds, Cronulla have won it! Cronulla have won it! 14-12!
I don't know, it's a bit of a weird one, and I don't feel that about any other game I've ever played, to be fair. That team, you know, we still keep in touch now. We formed some very good relationships and friendships, but yeah, one of the best years of my life, on and off the field, because, you know, my wife and I, we got engaged after the grand final in New York, actually. It's a funny story, actually. She said to me at the start of the season, do you want to go to America? And I was like, I'd love to, let's go, let's go. So I said to her, but just book it a week after the grand final. This is before round one. I said, just book it a week after the grand final, just in case, you know, we want to be prepared to play the grand final as you do every single year. So we booked it, and then, yeah, we played the year, and then I was like, it got close to the finals. I was like, geez, lucky we did book it then when we did. So we obviously won. We partied all week, had a great time in the Shire with the fans, and then that following Sunday we flew out to America and flew into San Fran, then across to New York, and yeah, got engaged at the top of the Rockefeller building. So I think I was more nervous proposing than I was for the game, to be fair. I prepared my whole life for the game, but I hadn't prepared my whole life to get on one knee in front of a couple hundred people on top of the rock. So yeah, really, really cool year.